Today on the season finale of Sports and Such.
Hey, Reggie. What's going on, man?
Doing top stories, dude.
No, I already did it, so you're good.
No, you might have forgotten. We said that I'm going to do top stories, you'll do Streets and Such for the finale.
Yeah, no, it's not happening now. I already did it like 3 hours ago, so.
Well, who's doing Streets and Such? Because I'm in studio.
I think you could do it. Hello and welcome to the season finale of Sports and Such. I'm your host, Kevin Turner. Let's get into this week's top stories. The Cowboys expect to have their head coach Mike McCarthy back this week for their big game in Washington, which means the TV broadcast will suffer from a 95% drop in hard-hitting backwards hat action. That's pretty rad, right? Earlier this week, Dak Prescott was nominated for NFL Man of the Year, and for the second year in a row, the NFL Animal of the Year went to Bill Belichick. Roof. In entertainment news that kind of grosses me out a little bit, a Sex and the City reboot hit the airwaves this week so the 50-year-old ladies can take on Manhattan. I can't wait to see how many twists and turns this franchise takes before we get to see Charlotte and Miranda and Carrie and sex in the assisted living facility. Also, does anyone else find it weird that the creators of Sex and the City were like, you know what, let's go with Carrie Bradshaw for the protagonist? In related news, here's a photo of NFL Hall of Famer Terry Bradshaw struggling to fit into his pants. It's the holiday season. You know, one of the big stories for 2022 will be the race for Texas governor, which just became a lot more clear now that Matthew McConaughey has bowed out of the race, setting the table for Beto O'Rourke to be the top challenger to Greg Abbott, who you can see here pointing at Mexico on a map, confusing it with South Africa. Now, I like Beto, I guess. You know, he needs to tighten it up on the campaign trail, though. What I mean is, here he is November 19th in Corpus Christi, and he's wearing an Astros hat. I don't like that. And here he is November 21st in Fair Park wearing a Cowboys hat. Then boom, a few days later, Thanksgiving on the home front, back in an Astros hat. His Twitter bio reads, candidate for Texas governor. Go Cowboys, go Astros, go Lakers, and go Liverpool. Eeh. Well, Christmas time is right around the corner, and joining me now is our Christmas correspondent with his holiday gift guide, Jesse Cubinet. Happy holidays, Jesse.
Happy holidays, KT. Up on the roof, there arose such a clatter. It's Christmas time, and with the supply chain in shambles, this gift guide has never been more necessary.
Oh, I know. Tell me about it. I ordered something for my brother weeks ago. I'm afraid it's not going to get here in time.
Don't worry, Kevin. With my gift guide, I have all the hottest gifts and gadgets to outfit everyone in your life.
Awesome. I could use something for my mom. Anything the moms in our lives might like?
I have just the thing. This is the perfect gift for moms and aunts in your life. It's The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Oh, a book. That's a great idea. My mom's in a book club.
Every mom is legally obligated to be in a book club where at least one pallet of wine is consumed. It's in the Constitution. And this book is a great read. It's even one of Reese Witherspoon's favorites. It even has the Reese Witherspoon Book Club stamp.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, let's say my brother's gift doesn't arrive in time. Anything I could run out and grab him as a placeholder? He's sort of a tech type of guy.
I'm glad you asked. This gift is perfect for all the tech lovers in your life. It's Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Is it the same author from before?
This gripping novel is about the rise and fall of a fictional but iconic 1970s rock group. It's perfect for all the people in your life who love the latest gadgets.
Well, that's just a paperback book, though. Like, how is that perfect for people who like gadgets?
What do you get the person in your life who has everything? Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
How many of her books do you have?
This is a novel about 4 siblings throwing an end-of-summer blowout at a Malibu beach house in 1983, and it goes horribly wrong. Reid is back with another page-turner that you just can't put down. It was even chosen as one of Reese's book club picks.
It feels like these are all just books from Reese Witherspoon's book club that you have, like, just in your house. Like, okay, do you have anything for my niece? She's 3. You know, what's the hot toy this year for someone like that?
Great question, Kevin. The hot toy this year on everyone's wish list is whiskey in a teacup. What growing up in the South taught me about life, love, and baking biscuits.
How many Reese Witherspoon books do you have? Like, do you work for Reese Witherspoon now? Did you get a job at Reese Corp and I didn't know about it?
Kevin, please, for once, can you not be so obtuse? Her company is called Hello Sunshine, and no, I do not work there. In fact, they have blocked my phone number and flagged all of my emails as aggressive spam.
Yeah, it feels like all of your gift and your gift guide this year are just books that you've got on your bookshelf. Like, do you have anything non-book related for us?
Yes, this next item is perfect for dads and grads.
Dads and grads. Isn't that like a June thing?
Yes, this is perfect for dads and grads. It's the New York Times book review from November 28th.
Okay, thanks so much, Jesse. Thanks, man.
Yeah, this is perfect for all the dads and grads. It's only a few weeks old, and it's only been in the bathroom with me 3 times.
All right, there goes our holiday gift guide correspondent, Jesse Cubinet. While we'll have to wait until the springtime to find out if we accomplished our goal of winning multiple Lone Star Emmy Awards, we can at least celebrate some of our victories from this season. Our writer Steve's sister won an Emmy for writing on Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. Reggie rode a mechanical bull for 8 seconds. And I actually hosted more episodes than Mike Richards, the Jeopardy guy that hired himself and then fired himself. I'm still here, cancel culture. We made it. And also, we'd like to take a second to give a shout out to a member of our team. After 3 months helping out behind the scenes, Barry is deciding to retire. Thank you for your service, Barry. We'll miss having you around. Enjoy the rest of your life. And now we close out this year's final round of top stories by paying tribute to those that we lost. Take a look. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the season finale of Sports and Such.
When was the first moment that you, or was there even a moment where you realized, okay, I want to be in media in some form or fashion? Do you remember a certain moment where you're like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do?
Well, there's not really a particular moment. It's maybe like a massive moment, a collection of moments. It probably didn't hurt when I frequently got notes written back to to my parents. Talk too much in class, those types of things. But I had settled in pretty strongly on architecture in like 7th grade. As you might be able to tell, it didn't work out like that, but soon through there, like when I went to Kansas State for a year because they had a great architecture program. When I went there, I knew they had a radio station on campus. I was like, is that something I want to do? Because I'd listen sparingly, incredibly sparingly to sports talk radio. And obviously being a person who loves sports, ESPN, those types of things. I thought myself capable of it, and that maybe just comes from a certain ego that I have. I think I can do a whole bunch of stuff. In college, when you kind of get to a place where you're like, oh, I am in a stagnant place. I'm in maybe between a rock and a hard place. And media ended up being an outlet, and I tried it, and I would like to say I was good at it, and boom, there we go.
Well, I knew since like the age of 6 that I wanted to do radio. I had 2 cousins who were a little bit older than me, and we used to, play basketball together and all that stuff. And then we would do these like fake radio shows, and we would record them on tapes, and we had 1 million of them. And so that was like, oh, I really want to do this. And then I had this thing happen to me when I was 13. The high school team in my small town, the 2A only Cubs, I'm at a game and the radio station from the small town nearby didn't go. So my cousin finds me and he hands me a phone and he says, dude, you need to do play-by-play of this game.
How old were you?
I was 13. And my voice was still very high. But I knew all the players and all that stuff. And I did the game to the radios, over the phone, to the radio station, to all the people back in my hometown who didn't make the long drive. And the Cubs are going to state, that whole thing. And then they made it National Kevin Turner Day at the radio station, and they invited me up there.
Is there a single thing you want to achieve, person you want to impress, thing you want to prove?
I really hope not. If there is a real answer to that, I'm not going to give it to you right now because,
Why not?
I'll tell you
It's
why.
the finale.
No, I hear you, but it's more internal. I don't want that to be the case. I don't want there to be a person I'm trying to impress with this, because that means there's an outward motivation And I don't think that's the best way to do these things. I feel like life in general is best when it's operated inwardly. Does that make sense? Is that fair? Or at least when it comes to motivation.
I mean, it's all about getting the Emmy at the end of the day. Having that bad boy or bad girl up on the shelf. You know, it's really not about any awards or anything, but I am almost to a fault very hyper-focused on short-term type of things. And that might be one of my personal weaknesses. I should maybe have a bigger picture, a bigger outlook. But when I'm doing my job, which again is not a real job, it's just to try to make people laugh. It's about just trying to do a good show today, and let's do a good show tomorrow.
To Reggie's point, it might be unhealthy, but I find myself trying to impress like the younger version of myself. Like if I had a time machine and I went back to like 10, 15, 18-year-old me and I said like what it is that I'm doing in my career, like would I be stoked or not? And that's kind of how I make my decisions career-wise. Favorite athlete you've met?
Dirk,
Calvin Murphy.
Aside from yourselves, who's the best radio personality?
Gordon Keith,
Dan Le Batard.
Favorite TV show of all time?
Parks and Rec.
The Wire.
What would you be doing if not this?
Oh, watching the Mavs.
Friends or Seinfeld?
Friends.
100%.
Friends or Arrow?
Friends.
What's the best compliment you've ever gotten?
There was a dude who stopped me at one of like the station events that we did, and like we talked for like a half hour, and he was just like really appreciative. Felt like I really was speaking and saying things that like needed to be heard, and that feels good.
Especially when it's someone that's like, especially the last couple of years, like a doctor or something, or a nurse who's been dealing with all that stuff. That always makes you feel pretty good.
And that's kind of the low end of the scale, because there's folks that are like, you know, my pops died, and
Yeah.
you know, listening to you has made it, you know, that much more bearable. Or somebody who, you know, all sorts of adverse situations, and it's just like you've helped get this thing through. Like, oh wow, yeah, no, that matters in a very particular way. Second in that line was one time I was sitting for a segment on this television show, and you looked in the camera, you said I looked really good, and that's the second best. So.
What's happening, everybody? Reginald Datatula for another edition of Streets and Such. This time I can't lie to you, kill the green screen. I'm actually in studio. So what had happened was I had thought, that's actually irrelevant. Omicron is out there and I'm just trying to not be out in the streets. So we're just going to take a tour of the studio. Let's go. All right, so you saw the green screen. Works pretty well, huh? Right? Like you didn't even know it was me. I was outside. You know what I'm saying? This is one of them things. It's long like a brontosaurus. You know what I mean? A giraffe. And it's got a camera on the end. I don't know what they call it. I like to call it the giraffe camera. And apparently KT is here. Hey, what's happening, KT?
Oh, hey, just getting ready to shoot some stuff.
No, you're not.
What's going on?
Because I tried to shoot some stuff. I said I was going to drop it.
How's Streets and Such going?
You know how it's going, you jerk. We're just going to take a tour of the studio. Would you like to go along?
I've never really looked around.
Have you just been standing here all season?
Sure have. Okay, we're here with Johnny. Johnny, what did you think of this season of Sports and Such?
I haven't even heard of it.
What do you know about Jane the Virgin?
She says words that she's not supposed to.
Well, does she? I can tell you a little bit of Jane the Virgin.
Okay.
I hear that this show is whimsical, and I heard that it's blessed with the star presence of Gina Rodriguez.
Okay, if you wanted to give it a grade, what's the grade we're giving Jane the Virgin?
Miraculous. I mean, it's one of the most promising hours on any network.
It's not a grade.
I think it's the breakout star of the fall season. I mean, Sports and Such has been good, but I think it's been the breakout star of the fall season. Oh, we've got a dungeon. Do you see what I did?
Why does this exist?
Oh, all right. This is where our writer Steve lives. Hey, look, it's the WB Frog.
Michigan J Frog is in there?
Yeah. It's as if this place used to be the WB.
Yeah, so this sign has made me realize that there's a possibility of us getting caught doing things that we're not supposed to do. So if that happens, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pretend like we sleep. All right.
What are they going to do? Fire us? It's the season finale. I'll just pull back the curtain a little bit. When we negotiated our contract here at CW33, we said only if you'll pay us in landlines. So look at all these phones.
Yeah. A few of these are ours. Yeah.
We could get the bundle. A recent survey actually said that 90% of spam calls came from this room.
Arrow, the current champion of CW33, we're trying to dethrone him.
Is that Chris O'Donnell? Okay, here we are in the lobby, and the reason I wanted to bring you down to the lobby is because they're promoting a new show on the CW, one that I think you all need to watch. It's called Cow. Yeah, that's right. A wacky bovine and her adventures. We've got grass and clouds and sky. It's the new hit show.
Yeah, it actually harkens back to when the network was supposed to be called The Cow. They just dropped the O. They didn't like the way it looked.
Yeah, they had a distance from the whole frog thing anyway, so it makes sense.
So, all right.
Check out Cow.
Let's take it back inside.
Yeah, let's go back in.
Yeah. So, just. Did you?
They didn't give me a badge. No.
I didn't get. All right. Streets and such.
Wait, did you steal a phone?
Don't.
The game show portion of Sports and Such is now. And I'm being joined today by one guy that I see every day at work and my favorite baseball player of all time. It is Michael Young, former Texas Ranger great, and it is Jeff Skin Wade of the Ben and Skin Show on 97.1 The Eagle, and of course the Dallas Mavericks TV broadcast. Hello, gentlemen.
What's up, KT?
Hola. You know, KT, when you said at first, the way you worded that, I thought you were saying I was your all-time favorite baseball player. And then I realized you were talking about Michael. So I was real briefly excited. Now I'm disappointed.
Your baseball swing is offensive. As Pudge Rodriguez once looked at your swing and said, "What are you trying to do?" Michael, we'll start with you. Even though Skin's got a few years on you, we'll start with Michael. For 1 point, how many golf tournaments has Tiger Woods won?
62.
The answer is higher. Skin.
I think it's like 87.
Oh, it's lower.
So we just keep going back and forth then.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I got the hang of this now. 68.
Higher than 68, but I like the strategy.
It's 74, Kevin.
Higher than 74.
78.
It is higher than 78.
I kind of like that you just expected Michael to know how this game works without explaining it. I'll go with 81.
It's higher than 81.
Crap.
84.
Lower than 84.
Oh, man. There's so much pressure on me right now. 83.
It's lower than 83.
Crap.
82.
That is correct. 1
Wow.
point for Michael.
The war of attrition for Tiger wins right there.
The frozen margarita machine was invented by Mariano Martinez in the great city of Dallas, Texas. What year did he invent the frozen margarita machine?
Yeah, I think that was like 1952.
It's higher than 52, but I like your confidence.
Thank you.
1972.
Lower than 1972, the year that the Rangers began.
Oh, wow. That's why he picked it. The answer is actually, as everyone knows, Kevin, 1962.
It's higher than 1962, but now we have a good range.
Let's go with 1967.
Higher than 1967, the year my mother was born.
I'll never forget it. 1969, Kevin.
Higher than 1969.
It's very clearly 1970.
Higher than 1970.
It's so good to take the lead in the year I was born, 1971.
2 points for Jeff Skin Wade. Wow. 2 points for Skin, 1 for Michael. This is the final countdown, the 3-point question for the win. We'll start with Michael. On his debut album, Prince was credited with playing how many instruments?
8.
It's higher than 8.
Oh my God, really? 11.
Higher than 11.
14.
Higher than 14.
Goodness. Genius.
17.
It is higher than 17.
No way. I can't even name 17 instruments.
Neither can I. 21.
Higher than 21.
24.
Higher than 24.
Oh my goodness.
That's it.
29.
Lower than 29.
25.
He did the dramatic pause. It's higher than 25.
Well, I got to go 28 because if I go 27, then he's going to get it. Well, no, 28. 28.
Lower than 28.
Yeah.
All right, you realize this is it. This is all the marbles. I mean, why does someone need so many marbles? 27.
Is that your final answer?
It is, Kevin.
Correct. He got it for 3 points in the win. Jeff Skinwade. Prince was credited with 27 instruments on his debut album.
Incredible. I'd like to thank all of my best friends, Ian Kinsler, Elvis Andrews, just all my great teammates from the past for supporting me on this incredible win, Kevin.
There they go. Jeff Skinwade. You can hear him Monday through Friday, 2 to 5 on 97.1 The Eagle. And Michael Young, my favorite baseball player of all time.
All right, that does it for this season of Sports and Such. Thank you so much for watching all season long. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you for supporting us. We appreciate it, and we love you. Also, thank you to our entire crew. Look at everyone here. All of our past episodes can be found at sportsandsuch.com, so go to that website. And I don't know if we're coming back next season. That's really up to you. So happy holidays. Let's make 2022 awesome. Bam, bam, woo! Pop it, Dina, pop it!